Okay, so to pick up where I left off, the social benefits of my new venture would be providing an outlet for arts entertainment, providing a community with a link to its history, providing an entertainment venue, and also the project could provide jobs for contractors, whoever is hired by the organization that takes over the theater. So instead of going on to the next part on this, I'm going to return here to the business model canvas for the League of Historic American Theaters, or LHAT, which is what I will call it from now on. At first, when I looked up LHAT, I thought that it was very similar to the organization that I designed um, in what it does, but the more I read about it, I realized that it is actually pretty different. And although it sort of serves the same group of people that would be dealing with my organization, it more serves already established historic theaters that are working or open, and I think that it would be a really good partner for my organization. So, for our customer segments, I said it would be a niche market because it is an organization that serves those who operate or otherwise involved with historic theaters, so members of LHAT. And that's a pretty specific customer segment, I think. For value propositions, I said that LHAT offers accessibility by offering the owners of in-use historic theaters who are members of LHAT a wealth of knowledge that is on the website for LHAT, a database on um, articles about maintaining and restoring historic theaters, as well as a network of other members who can help provide assistance or information on certain topics. And also for cost reduction, so LHAT provides assistance to historic theaters that need help in being maintained. For channels, most of their awareness is raised on the internet. They also have a theater tour, which is an actual tour through the theaters that LHAT is involved with, so people can get an idea of what they do and how they've helped. They have their membership is purchased through the website, and there are several different levels of membership depending on what you pay, which gets you different amounts of information or accessibility. Most of their resources are delivered through the website. There is an annual conference that is at a specific place, and the theater tours require members to go to a specific place as well. And assistance for theaters seems to be on a pretty case-by-case basis. So I think you would need to apply for assistance and ask for funding help. Members remain a part of a network, so theaters who receive assistance, I think they remain something called LHAT charter theaters after they are helped. So they do, that is sort of how LHAT remains involved after, for the post-purchase. Their customer relationships. I said that they use personal assistance, self-service, and communities. So for personal assistance, they provide assistance to the theaters that need help to be sustained. Self-service, they give access to information on the website so members can go in and help themselves to that information. And for communities, the membership gives access to LHAT Chat, which is also web-based, but it's where theater owners and operators can communicate with each other and share ideas. So that is creating a network. For their revenue streams, they use a subscription fee, so users are paying to be members of LHAT. It's fixed pricing, list price. Users can pay a certain amount to join one of 3 levels of membership that come with varying benefits. Their key resources um, for their value propositions, um, for their accessibility, their human resources, the people who make up the network um, that LHAT provides. And for financial, sponsors provide funds for convention and for cost reduction. Financial, because sponsors provide funds for helping to sustain theaters. For their distribution channels, they're physical. They have physical for the resources they need to put on a convention, human for the employees to work the convention, and financial for the cost of convention. For customer relationships, human for their theater assistants, financial for theater assistants, and intellectual for self-serve web information for members in network. And for their revenue streams, they need intellectual for the info given to members with memberships that are paid, and human for employees to work at the convention and the theater tours, which bring in money, and financial for the money to pay for the convention, because conventions usually cost a good amount of money. Let me see. Key activities. So for their value propositions, most of what they are doing for their key activities, they deal with network. Because this is a web-based organization, and it has a lot to do with membership and what members can do for each other. So the idea of LHAT is to be a source of support and info for those involved. Also for value propositions, we have problem solving for a key activity, because the community, the LHAT community, helps to provide assistance in solving unique problems that come from operation of historic theaters. For their distribution channels, network again, because they exist mainly as a network. Customer relationships, self-service is provided by the network, and revenue streams, revenue is provided by membership costs to join the network. So very much network-based. Key partners would be the members, because the members are actually supplying the intellectual resources. The motivation here would be acquisition of particular resources and activities. The members become a part of the community relationship that LHAT is offering, and each member adds his or own knowledge to the pot. Sponsors are our other partner, because they supply financial resources. That motivation would be optimization and economy. They give the funds needed to put on the convention each year, as well as the funds needed to help with specific theaters. And our cost structure. I said that LHAT is mainly cost-driven. It relies most on the value of the organization being contributed by its own members. And it works with fixed cost of what it takes to run the organization. It'll also have some variable costs depending on what projects the organization is assisting with. So this organization is really meant as help for owners and operators of historic theaters that are active, that have already been restored, and it helps to sustain those theaters and keep them in business and healthy, just to make sure that there is a certain degree of sustainability, so that now that they've been restored, they're not going to go anywhere. So I think LHAT would be a really great partner for my organization, because it sort of would serve to help with that, for the stage for us, the post production stage, or the post purchase stage. After the theater is restored, then LHAT kind of comes into the picture. So um, for the extra canvassing for LHAT, Looking at their environmental costs, once again, an organization has a carbon footprint. Any sort of convention usually generates a good amount of waste, and some projects will probably involve construction work. For their social costs, a building project in a neighborhood can become, can I think can often become the subject of political battles, and arts can sometimes be a politically polarizing issue. Their environmental benefits, historic buildings are sustained, so we don't have a building just sitting around crumbling. Um, it beautifies the community, revitalizes surrounding areas, and most of the organization's business is done from the website, so this reduces a good amount of paper waste. Social benefits and entertainment values are assisted and are kept alive in the community. Networking opportunities are provided for members, and it helps to sustain jobs for workers at historic theaters. So these are my two business models. For mine, it helped me answer a lot of questions that I kind of hadn't even thought of yet for how my business would work. I still am a little iffy on some things. I think that I would have to get a lot more information on how businesses like mine would really operate so that be, um, I could make it a little more realistic, I think. And for LHAT, it was a bit tricky because I am not a member of this organization and I can't answer all of the questions exactly because I don't know um, the full story. I just know what I can tell from my research on the organization. Um, but I did find out a lot of good information, and I found this new organization that I think would be really helpful to me. So, thank you for listening, and I will see you in class.